Yo, guys. Ay, ay, ay. This Arsenal team, man. This Arsenal team. Yeah. People were laughing at me at the local bar that I go to here, and when I posted the last video saying, this team is growing. I think people were expecting them to crumble. I was worried for just the schedule. I haven't been worried so much about individual opponents that we have to face in the Premier League. That's not something I worry about as much. But I was worried about this week, still slightly concerned for Tottenham, even though we just won 5-0, because we've been playing more than the teams we're about to play. And they're London rivals, and so they want to, stop Arsenal from doing something special this year, which makes sense. Man, that's how rivalries work. But my fucking goodness, like this team is just relentless, and they keep finding a gear and keep finding a level of energy that at least I haven't been seeing come in, and which is why I've been worried about the schedule, because the two times Arsenal struggled this year was in the December period, quick turnarounds, and first the Champions League group stages. I want to say the Champions League group stages where they just finished, and then we had to play a cup game, but just before Christmas, a couple of games, West Ham and then Fulham, and we lost in those games. But if you look again, like when we just started crumbling was when the Champions League came back. I mean, crumbling maybe is a bit of an overstatement, but we started to show again our struggle a little bit with dominating games and maintaining a level of exceptional dominance that we've been able to see from this team. I think this team is definitely better than last year's team, not because of the points, because I think we're similar at this stage on points, and maybe last year's team is slightly ahead. Still, even though we had that the struggle for the last few games, I just think this game against Chelsea, the last game away at a decimated Wolves, these two games, show that this team is going to fight as far as they can. And if they do drop points, it won't be because of bottle jobs or whatever other labels that football fans historically have put on teams for not winning at the end of the season. I think it's going to be either, an injury here or there, or like running out of steam. But if we can get through Tottenham, then we start playing one day a week. Today, that first half was frustrating. I'm not going to lie. It was a very frustrating first half. But the first goal kind of speaks to something that Thomas Tuchel said when, he really marked heavily our right-hand side in that Bayern game, especially in the second one, and said, if Arsenal is going to beat us, they're going to do it with the left-sided players. And double job on Saka, double job on Odegaard, just shut us down on the right, crowded that space to force us to use the other guys. Today, we saw why you need to do more of that against Arsenal if you have the players and the commitment. And I think Chelsea didn't. Chelsea have the players, but I don't think they had the commitment. And the Trossard goal, the very first goal Arsenal scored by Trossard, was basically a real life example of going down the right, come back around, Partey finds, I think, Havertz, and then the ball transitions. But it starts with like Odegaard over on the right-hand side, Partey in the middle, and Declan Rice out left. And then Rice lays it out for Leo. Leo tries to kind of like trap it with his right foot. It gives him a nice pathway to hit it with his left. Early lead, 4 minutes on the clock, and then it was really a frustrating first half after that. I can't lie. We were wasteful, and not just wasting in terms of like chances, but we were wasteful on the ball. We made some really, I guess it was because of the speed of the game, or maybe we wanted it too much, but we were rushing our final pass in that last third in the attacking side of it. But then I'm out losing my mind thinking, Arsenal might get punished for this. Chelsea, they've been smoking some teams recently. And, they have talent in there, even though they're not playing as a team. You keep a team alive in a game, by not scoring more than one goal. It can happen. Football is a strange game. It didn't happen today. And I don't know what I was worried about, but like Martin Odegaard made sure, and no, he didn't score today, but he made sure that he kept providing chance after chance after chance. And yeah, the boy is world class, in my opinion. I don't care what other people say. Boy is world class, man. And what a leader of men, what a player. That pass both passes for his assists were crazy, but that was not all he did. He continues to chase lost causes, his manipulation of the ball. And yeah, my favorite pass was the one he plays for Kai Havertz, but the one for Ben White's fluky goal was just something special too. But the one for Havertz was because he's out on the left, and I don't know how, the vision and then the precision with which he plays that ball kind of forces Havertz to run where he must run and finish, basically, or miss. But like, luckily for us, he finished. And I just think the way he plays, especially, when the Thomas Partey is in the is in the team, Thomas Partey and him. I don't know how much they pass to each other today, but Odegaard plays well with anyone. But I think Thomas Partey just finds a way of releasing. I'm gonna segue to him, I guess, in a little bit, because we've missed a lot from him being injured this year. But Odegaard was just beautiful today. He was just special. And the midfield three is where I think this game was won. Like we found a way playing with a lot more freedom, and Partey's quick decision making on the ball and not lingering on it, and playing more vertical passes cuts teams up. Chelsea, I guess, are one of those teams that make it easy a bit, but like Thomas Partey, the fact that we missed him from like October to late March, April, it's been a big loss for Arsenal this season. Him and Julian Timber have been massive losses. I know every team goes through, and has injuries and whatnot. But man, like if we had 3, 4, 5 months of this man in the team, I think we would have had already great season that we're having. I think it could have been better. But unfortunately, health has just, his health has just not been something he and Arsenal fans have been able to rely on since he moved from Spain to the Premier League. But my goodness, like his relationship with the ball, him and Odegaard, it's just unfair on opposing midfield players. You can't double up on Odegaard when Thomas Partey is in the team. Like really, not with as much degree of comfort, because he will punish you. He will find the pass. Now, Jorginho can still pass too, but like there's a different level of authority when Thomas Partey is in the team. And that's just my opinion. And I think most, like, the players in the team tell you as well about, the belief and the confidence with which they run to make runs for him to give them the ball. But also you watch how people don't press him as much as they run after Jorginho or foul Jorginho. People can pick fights with Jorginho. Like, this is not a slight on Jorginho, because I think he's been great for us. And I would still play him ahead of Partey in some instances. But, like, it was just beautiful to see this guy playing football for a change, because, injuries just can do that and take players away from you for a long time. One last shout before I leave, just Leo. I know a lot of Arsenal sleep on this guy, a lot of Arsenal fans. He doesn't make a lot of I will include myself in that. He doesn't make a lot of our like best 11 Arsenal when everyone is fit. But man, my guy's got balls, man, and output. He delivers. He really delivers, Trossard. And I think it's fair that he gets to start some of these games now. Like, there's no one can argue. Martinelli has been coming on as a sub 20 minutes plus or so in the last few games. and hasn't really, set the field alight. And I know he played well against Bayern in that second leg, but and in the first leg, not so much for me. But yeah, he's, no player is, I think most of us Arsenal fans need to move away from starting 11s at this point. I think you need to play on form, and on form, he's one of our best on form players, and is one of our best finishers. Just can't lie about that. And I think Leo and Kai, another player who's gotten a lot of stick from Arsenal and Chelsea fans. I think they've both been just incredible in this last, I don't know, 5-6 months. I want to say, and they've been really, really good for us. I think Kai Havertz started waking up maybe at Newcastle, that one game where he should have been sent off or might have been sent off, and then since then, because that day he was playing for Odegaard in the right eight, and he's been doing well, Kai, and I'm so happy for him that he got to have a good laugh at Chelsea's expense today, because a lot of their fans have been making fun of him since he was their player, and then once he moved across from West London to the north, they continue to, and some of our fans too, I guess, are not convinced by the player. But I think if we let go of what we expect him to be when he signed, I think you start to see that he's been fighting and working hard for this team. You can't fault this man's effort, and we've been getting some output too from him. So I just think, yeah, Kai, man, like, he's just one of those guys where he's a team player. His versatility is always going to be helpful. He's played 8 in the last couple games a few times, and today he's up top and he gives us 2 goals. And fair play to him for celebrating that goal too, because a lot of those Chelsea fans, I think, deserved that. Fair play to him. I'm glad that he celebrated that first goal. And the second one, he was a bit muted in his celebration, but fair play to him, because he has worked so hard, and you can see he's confident now, because he messed up a few times in that first half. But the difference between Kai Havertz now and those first 3-4 months at Arsenal is that when he makes a mistake, he doesn't, first of all, shy away from making a mistake. And when he does, it doesn't stop him from playing. He keeps playing. And that's awesome, because we need every single one of these players up front to make those contributions between now and the end. And maybe we get there at the end, and maybe we don't. But all we can do is win our games, and then we see where we at, and with City and Liverpool come the end of the league season. Anyway, man, I'm gonna stop this one here, but we move. We go to Tottenham on Sunday, and come on, you Gunners.